Filipino Facebook is popping off. They're pretty frustrated,
Yeah.
asking why Hansen Yang was drafted and Kai Sotto wasn't.
Wasn't.
Let me tell you why. We want Kai Sotto to succeed. He's essentially the best bet right now for a fully blooded Filipino to make it in the NBA. Right? I think there's a chance for Kai to eventually end up in an NBA roster. So he went to the US,
Right.
played
Yeah,
for
yeah,
1 year
yeah.
in Georgia, and then he went to the G League Ignite team.
Right. Yeah.
So he essentially forfeited his college years. Around that time when he decided to go to the G League to turn pro, I believe it was Gonzaga who was recruiting him. Maybe
Right,
even
right,
Michigan. I don't know if it was Real Madrid or Barcelona, but he was being recruited in the Euro League
Real
as well.
Madrid. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
remember they were training him to kind of play like Porzingis,
Oh.
but his shooting was a bit spotty. They tried to play him as a stretch five, but it wasn't really working because his shooting wasn't really catching up. His
Right.
dribbling, his playmaking, pretty bad, and his
Yeah.
post moves were lacking. His strength, he's 7'3" and he's built like Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
Yeah.
is, Kai Sotto wasn't really ready to go pro when he did, because as big as he was, there were some skills that were lacking. If you watched him
Right.
defensively,
Yeah.
if let's say you're
Hands
7 foot
up, yeah.
tall, your
Yeah.
wingspan is really crazy.
Hands up, yeah.
You have to put your hands up. And if you watch Kai Sotto's games, watch clips of him playing defense. He always has his hands down because he's trying to
Was
time
a
the block.
He's trying to time the.
He's always trying to time the block at the expense of contesting shots.
Yeah.
This block rate is pretty good, but is he really affecting your defense? You gotta contest. You gotta make things harder. You put your hands up, and you'll be a much more effective defender. I don't know if you watch the games where he doesn't get the. He tries to call for the ball in the post and doesn't get it,
Right.
and he pouts the all the time going back down. That's
Yeah.
not the way you do it,
That's
man.
That's not good. Wasn't there a time when he was in the Orlando Summer League, and he didn't play at all? Almost. Yeah.
I think unless he gets some better training around him, I think his ceiling is probably just going to be in Asia. And worst case scenario, you can always go back to the PBA and earn millions there. But I'm
Yeah.
sure that's not what he wants. So we hope that he succeeds, right? We're
Yeah.
rooting for Kai Sotto, and we want him to eventually reach the NBA, not just because he's Filipino, but because he's talented.